Arisma and I'm a second year medic at King's, and today I'm going to be answering some of your questions about work experience. What is work experience? What is its importance? What do medical schools expect from me? And how do I get work experience? So in today's video, we're going to be focusing on what it is, what its importance is, and what medical schools and the Royal College have said about work experience and what they expect from potential applicants. In the next video, we'll be talking about how to secure work experience, and in the final video of this series, we'll be talking about how you can reflect on your work experience, which is the most important part of this entire process. So first, what is work experience and what are medical schools expecting from me? Do I need to pay £2,000 to get work experience at the top hospital in London, or is me just volunteering at a care home in my community enough? So in the past, a lot of medical schools have perhaps looked for actual clinical in-person work experience. However, that is no longer the case now, and that's because they realized that especially students from disadvantaged backgrounds, international students, this was severely disadvantageous to them because they could not secure in-person and clinical work experience. So their policy has entirely changed, and this is not something that me or other medical students are just assuming. This is stuff that is officially sent out by both medical schools as well as the Medical Schools Council as well as the Royal College websites. So I'm just going to read out something that is taken directly verbatim from the Royal College of GP's website regarding work experience and what they expect medical students to do. So the RCGP website says that medical schools are looking for applicants who have had focused work experience where they have been caring for someone else, providing a service or helping others, and through this they have gained an understanding of what it is like to work in a caring profession. The Medical Schools Council has also addressed this issue, and they have said that in the past clinical experience may have been required, but that is no longer the case. They now say that all they expect medical students to do is to gain an understanding of the realities of a career in medicine. And this is because they want to make sure that you know both the positive and negative aspects of a career in medicine, how long it takes, how it's a career of lifelong learning, how stressful it may be, and so on. And you actually know what the career is all about, and you're not basing your assumptions off of a TV show that you've watched or just stories that you've heard. So they just want you to have relevant experiences so that you gain this understanding. And why do they want you to have an accurate understanding of what a medical profession entails? That's because they're going to be investing 5 to 6 years in you and in your education, and at the end of these 5 or 6 years they want to make sure that a medical student doesn't leave the NHS, doesn't leave the medical profession, but instead joins the workforce. And so they're looking for applicants who have that dedication in them, who have the most potential to then join the NHS and join the workforce, because as we know, we have a shortage in the NHS and they want to fix that. And they want the students who are the most dedicated, who are most likely to join the NHS despite knowing all the negative aspects related to a medical career or working in the NHS. So they're looking for dedicated and passionate individuals. And so work experience also serves as a very useful tool for you, because finding out what medicine is all about might put you off from working in medicine, and you might realize that another profession might be it for you. So work experience is not just important for medical schools to understand your dedication, your passion, but also for you to understand if medicine is even for you. So what are these relevant experiences that the Medical School Council talks about? So of course they've mentioned working in a GP or primary care setting or a secondary care setting, as in a hospital, but they've also mentioned reading books, watching TV shows, realistic ones, documentaries, movies, listening to podcasts. That all counts as well. And we've just started a brand new series called our book club, which I will be linking above, where we just review books, TV shows, movies, documentaries, podcasts relating to medicine, so you can decide whether you want to read that book or watch that show or not. Apart from this, they've also mentioned that volunteering experiences count, because that is you working in an environment where you're meant to care for someone else, and that is what medicine is all about. But also, very interestingly, they've said that even having informal conversations with clinicians counts as a relevant experience in understanding what medicine is all about. Their focus has shifted from work experience being a tick box exercise where you just have to get a week in a hospital, for example. That is no longer the case. Work experience is just to help you understand what medicine is all about, and that is what the focus is all about now. And why did this shift happen? Well, they realized that in-person work experience is especially hard with COVID, and also because we have significant doctor shortages in the country. In fact, as a medical student, often my teaching is cancelled because we don't have doctors to teach us on the wards. And so if doctors can't even teach medical students, they definitely will not have the time to teach aspiring medics who are just at a high school level. And although that is unfortunate, that is a reality. But the good thing is that the Medical Schools Council and the Royal Colleges understand this and therefore don't expect that from you. And as I mentioned before, this change was also implemented because they didn't want to put students from lower socioeconomic backgrounds or international students to be at an even higher disadvantage applying. So this was just kind of to equalize the application process for everyone. Another interesting quote that I'd like to read out from the Royal College of GP's website is about what the importance of work experience is, and they quote unquote said that work experience is no longer a tick box exercise to enter medicine, and the most important part of this is reflecting on what you've learned from the experience. They're not looking to quantify the amount of work experience you've got. Instead, they're looking at how much you've learned, how much you've grown using your work experience, what skills have you developed, and so on. And apart from this, work experience is really useful because you have some really interesting things to talk about in both your personal statement and your interviews. And apart from that, it is a great way to develop skills such as teamwork, communication, leadership, even in some situations. So you can talk about all of this in your personal statement, in your interviews, and of course it's a great way to get a realistic insight into what medicine is. So to answer your question, no, you do not need to pay a ridiculous amount of money to get relevant work experience. You don't even need to work in a hospital or GP setting. Reading books, gaining an understanding is more than enough, and here at the Aspiring Medics, we're trying our best to get as many of these resources for you all for free, and so stay tuned on our YouTube channel as well as our website, and we'll be posting more information about this. I would also recommend watching our videos on the Medical Schools Council values. So these are values and skills that the Medical School Council expects all aspiring medics to have and to show through their personal statement and through their interviews. So definitely have a look at that, and then you can figure out what kind of experiences you'd like to engage in to develop those skills or to show those skills in your personal statement. See you in the next video.
Check out the Aspiring Medics website for free resources on extra reading, entry exams, personal statements, and interviews to help you get into medical school.